Hello everyone, welcome to NityaCloudtech. This is the part 1 of Azure Databricks in which we are going to discuss about the introduction of Azure Databricks. So let's start. Before even understanding Azure Databricks, let's try to understand first broad things like Apache Spark, Databricks and cluster which are going to use in Azure Databricks, or I can say these are the building blocks of Azure Databricks. So Apache Spark, basically it is a multi-language engine for executing data engineering, data science and machine learning on single node machine or cluster. So using Apache Spark, you can do data engineering, data science and machine learning on single node machine or clusters. So what exactly cluster is, we are going to learn about in this video only in further slides. Moving into the next point, Apache Spark is an open source distributed processing system used for big data workloads. So let's say you have huge amount of data. Now that data you need to process. So for that, basically we use Apache Spark. Apache Spark, what it does, it distributed the data and then process so that the performance would be fast for that data processing. It utilizes in-memory caching, optimized query execution for fast analytic queries against data of any size. Now, Spark Core basically is the foundation of Apache Spark. It is responsible for memory management. So internally, it basically take care about the memory management, fault recovery, scheduling, and how to distribute and monitoring jobs and interacting with different storage system. So Spark Core is responsible for all of these things. Apache Spark don't have any storage system, don't have there any storage system. So Spark Core basically, what Spark do, Spark basically connect with the different storage, like either it will be HDFS, Hadoop, either it would be AWS, Azure Data Lake, Azure storage. So Azure, it connect with the different data storage and then process the data. Okay, now Spark Core is exposed to an application programming interface built for Java, Scala, Python and R. So if I talk about Spark architecture, Spark framework includes Spark Core as the foundation for the platform, Spark SQL for interactive queries, and Spark streaming for the real. So if you need to do real-time analytics, so it has Spark streaming component and Spark MLIB for machine learning. So there are different components, and SQL for interactive queries and Spark GraphX for graph processing. You can use different language, so you have basically choice of language in Spark: R, Python, Scala and Java. Now let's move into the next part, Databricks. What exactly is Databricks? So Databricks basically is an American enterprise software company founded by the creator of Apache Spark. So it is basically founded by the same who has developed Apache Spark. Databricks basically develop a web-based platform for working with Spark that provides automated cluster management and IPython style notebooks. So it works on web-based platform. And using Databricks, you can collaborate environment for data teams to build solution together. So if you remember, I have mentioned initially, like in Apache Spark, different teams can work together like data engineering, data science, and machine learning. So basically, it collaborate environments for data teams to build solution together. And now if I talk about Databricks, so let me open the website for Databricks. So if you see this website databricks.com, and if I click here on try Databricks, so you have this GUI, and here you can basically uh, do practical. So you have two option. First one is you can get started for free, so there will be 14 days trial version where you can create Databricks and you can start writing the code using different language. Another way is you need to upgrade using AWS, Microsoft, or Google Cloud. So where you will going to use Azure Databricks in the Azure and others in the AWS and cloud. So if you want to practice, and if you don't have exposure, or if you don't if you don't have facility to work on Azure Data Factory, then you can start using this one. Okay, now let's move back into the slide. Okay, so what exactly is cluster? Cluster basically consists of multiple nodes, individual machine that operate on your workload in parallel. So if I try to explain in easy language, a cluster basically, Apache Spark create a cluster. So whenever you will run any code, you have some like machine or something where you will run. So that's why it is serverless, because what you can do, you can create cluster on runtime. So cluster basically is nothing. It is a I can say individual machine, or it is a multiple nodes. You can say multiple machine. So basically it is one driver node for every cluster. So it has one driver node for every cluster. So let's say you have created one cluster. So it has one driver node, which is the one that delegates task and oversees the execution of your specific workload. So if I try to explain in detail, there are many worker nodes for every cluster that performs the processing. So let's say there's one cluster, and for that there are multiple, bulk node. There are multiple worker node. So it basically divide the task into the different worker node. So if I try to show you one diagram, this is the cluster architecture. So basically it has master Spark, and you can say this is the master cluster, and it has different child cluster. So whatever task come, it divide the task into the different worker node. So that's why it is distributed. And suppose if, let's say, 3 is lost, so it can reassign the task either on 2, 1, or 4. So this is the work of cluster manager. Okay, now let's move further. What exactly is Azure Databricks? So as I mentioned, Azure Databricks is a combination of Databricks and Apache Spark, which work on data science and engineering. Is an analytics platform based on the Apache Spark. So the thing is mentioned, which I have already covered. It is integrated with Azure to provide one-click setup, streamlined workflows, and an interactive workspace that enables collaboration between data engineers, data scientists, and machine learning engineers. So which we have already discussed in Apache Spark slide. So basically when you create Azure Databricks workspace, so you need to go into the Azure portal, and then you can search Azure Databricks, and then basically you can create workspace there, which enable collaboration. So once you create the workspace, then you can set up the cluster, and for that cluster you can start writing the code. So you have some storage, you will connect from that. So different teams can connect, like either it will be data engineers, data science, and machine learning engineers. So team can collaborate and work together. Okay, so don't worry if you don't understand in deep. I'm going to explain in our next video how to create workspace and moving forward in the other videos, we are going to learn everything step by step. Okay. So this is the architecture of Azure Databricks. Azure Databricks basically read data from multiple data sources such as Azure Blob Storage, Azure Data Lake Storage, Azure Cosmos DB, or Azure SQL Data Warehouse, and more. And it turn it into breakthrough insight using Spark. Now here there is some confusion. Like Azure Data Factory also do same thing. Like it basically load the data from different sources and it process using data flow or some SQL code and load into the Azure Data Lake storage, or like some uh, data lake storage, below storage, or Cosmos DB. Now the difference here is in Azure Data Factory. What you can do, you can load the data and store it into the different storage, but you cannot write Python, or you cannot write Spark for machine learning. You cannot use you cannot use Azure Data Factory for data science and data big data. So this is the challenge and machine learning. So for that, Azure Databricks come into the picture. So once you load the data into the different storage, then Azure Databricks can connect from the storage, and then on the top of it you can write, you have choice of language like Python, R, Scala. You can write and you can do data science, and you can use as an big data team, and you can do machine learning. So there are different options. So if you see here, you can fetch data from custom apps, sensor and devices, business apps. So there are multiple data source. You can fetch data into Azure Databricks, and then on the top of it you can do different things. So you can see this diagram as well. If you see in the below, there are different storage: Azure Blob, Azure Data, SQL Server, Hadoop. So using that, Azure Databricks can basically connect with these data sources and extract the data. And then on the top of it, Azure Databricks, you can write different coding as per the requirement. So in if I talk about people, so data science team can use this Azure Databricks, data engineer team can use, and after that, you can do deep learning, and you can basically work on streaming data. You can basically connect the same with Power BI and create report. Like this, you can do. Okay. And if I talk about more feature of Azure Data Factory, Azure Databricks, so let me move here in the website Azure. So if you see here in Azure Databricks, you have reliable data engineering. Basically, it is for large scale data processing, for batch and streaming loads, analytics for all of your data, enable analytics for most complete and recent data, collaborative data science rooted in open source, fast, optimized Apache Spark environment. So you can start quickly and optimize Apache Spark environment. Azure Databricks provide the latest version of Apache Spark. So it provides the latest version of Apache Spark and allows you to seamlessly integrate with open source libraries, and you can spin up clusters and build quickly in a fully managed Apache Spark environment with global scale and availability of Azure clusters are set up, configured, and fine-tuned to ensure reliability and performance without need the monitoring. And you can take advantage of auto scaling and auto terminating to improve total cost of ownership. So means you don't need to take care of anything. It will be basically auto terminate and auto scaling. So when you create a cluster, you have option to select, like if you see this here, terminate after 120 minutes. So you can select as per the requirement. So whenever your load is uh, high, it can basically auto scale, and whenever your load is low, it can accordingly minimize the server size. So like this, it is fully managed. You don't need to worry about anything. Okay. And you can boost productivity, shared workspace and common language. So it can be used as a shared workspace. As I mentioned, different team can work on the same workspace. And you can do machine learning on big data, access advanced automated machine learning capabilities using the integrated Azure machine learning to quickly identify suitable algorithm and hyperparameters. So as I again mentioned last time, simply management, monitoring and updating of machine learning models deployed from the cloud to the edge. So you don't need to take care about anything. It is basically automatic handle all of the things. So I hope this video is helpful. Thank you everyone.